like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, I told him I'ma hit it out of stands. I deserve another 100 bands. I deserve another 100 fans. Told them this was always in the plans. I just did it cause they said I can. Blowing euros when I'm down in France. Labels asking how I build a brand. Told them put a check up in my hands. Still got time, no cap. Made a few checks, but they all in the rest. Had a few friends, but they suck in the past. I don't even trip when I'm thinking about that. Hopped in the whip and we all in black. Shawty wanna ride till the hop in the back. 0 to 100, seen the rev on the dash. They ain't catching up, dog, I'm moving too fast. I'm in the big leagues. Told them don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in a big league.
What's up, my guy? What is up?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good, man. How about you?
Good to be with you guys.
Hey, always great to have you, man. We got Batman over here. He's on mute, probably. This is my guy, TDPHINSTALK, on the bottom under you, Brendan. Let you guys get acquainted here.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
I'm good, man. I need to talk to you one day about your Heat.
Let's do it. You let me know. We'll make it happen.
All right.
Awesome, man. How's everything been, man? The goose is loose, everybody.
The goosies are flowing, man. Goosies galore all over the place. Looking forward to next week. See what's going to go down in old free agency land.
Hey, before we get started on that, man, I got to ask you. The only reason I got to ask you is because I saw it yesterday. Been watching the Miami Heat since I was probably like 10 years old. Yesterday was a weird game because we kicked their behind in Phoenix without Bam, without Jimmy. What happened yesterday in Miami?
Yeah, I think there was a couple of things. One that was interesting is that Phoenix very much took that loss personally. You know, they talked about, Monty Williams talked about it going into that game. Devin Booker talked about it afterwards that, you know, they took that loss where they got obliterated, which I imagine hasn't happened to them very much, especially on their home floor. So they had this one circled a little bit. Like Devin Booker, you think about the kind of lead that they have, and Devin Booker was, you know, coming off COVID protocols. Really no need for him to fly to Miami for one game just to play, you know, like all the maintenance programs that we got going on in the NBA these days. And he wants to fly to Miami for a national TV game to put a stamp on it. You know, there was 1 versus 1. And I think that they want to make a statement to everybody. They want to get everybody's respect, especially with Chris Paul out. And I think for Miami, it just, I don't know if it wasn't just a lack of urgency. It just seemed like after they got off to that very easy breezy start, it felt like everything was working when, you know, Phoenix punched back a little bit. They really just couldn't match the physicality. The rebounding was atrocious. And just a weird game. Like Kyle Lowry just wasn't engaged offensively very much. He was trying to get everybody involved. And they missed a lot of shots. You know, it was one of those games where like JaVale McGee's hitting fadeaway jump shots on one leg. So you have those nights in the NBA too. It's just it
was a weird game. It was a weird game. I also noticed Tyler Hero. For some reason, Eric Spoelstra decided not to put him in like he usually does. He really took his time with putting him in there. You know, but it was weird. It was weird.
The Miami Heat are setting themselves up to live by and die by the three-pointer.
Yeah, that's so much
they're
the
setting themselves up.
Yeah, that's the rest of the NBA, brother.
But in the playoffs, it hasn't been working.
The thing that I think that does separate them is they're very good defensively. You wouldn't know
their defense. That's right.
Because Phoenix was just hitting everything, but they've been one of the best defensive teams in the league. I think it speaks more to the how impressive Phoenix is, more so than to a detriment of Miami, because they did. I mean, they have been going through a pretty tough run against the best teams in the Eastern Conference. But I mean, Phoenix has far and away been the best team this year. Their record shows it. Their stats show it. They were in the finals last year, up 2-0. So you know, there's no shame in that, man. There's no shame, but it does sting losing on national TV like that. There's no mincing words about that.
Oh, 100%, man, 100%.
What is the Shamu call?
I was about to read it.
Well, the whale call is when there are certain orcas out there. You know, the Pat Riley refers to. He refers to, you know, he used to refer to going to get big free agents as the whale, but then he changed it to the orca. They're looking for killer whales. And so only way to properly call a whale is because is through sonar, through echolocation, which is a very high pitch. That's how it's done. And then hopefully you get a call back.
That's
Oh
right.
my gosh. So how come no one has answered that call back for the Heat to actually get a superstar?
I mean, like, look, they've been trying for a while with the whale sharp. I'm trying to remember when the first summer he mentioned that was, but I would say that Jimmy Butler was deciding to come here was a bit of a game changer for him. I mean, it did lead to Kyle Lowry coming here. I mean, people's expectations of Riley, like Riley got LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh to all agree to come under here on discounted contracts. So it puts our standards at a really out of whack place. So, they've taken some swings at like Giannis Antetokounmpo and things like that, but he ended up signing his extension before last year. I think there was some thoughts that was going to happen. Bradley Beal's been a guy where there's just been constant flirtation. Now there's Sixers rumors. I'll tell the Sixers fan right now, listen, he ain't coming. I mean, he's going to sign that $200+ million contract with Washington. He just Bradley Beal loves to be wanted. He loves being in rumors, but he's never going to go anywhere.
So is this a championship team?
I think they are.
100%.
I think simply just because of where they rank offensively and defensively, but I do think that it does come with a couple things. They need Bam Adebayo to continue to be the aggressive guy that he's been since coming back from injury, and they need Tyler Hero to be playing at the level that he has, and those are going to be two interesting things. They're not guarantees in the playoffs because guys will be scouting them, guys will be trying to take things away. I do think we know what they'll get from Jimmy Butler. We've seen what he could be at the peak of his powers. Kyle Lowry. I would like him to have a little bit better of a temperament of like when to engage offensively for himself because he's so unselfish. But I do think that between the shooting, the defense, the versatility that they have all the tools. Some of the things that would concern me is they have struggled with some teams with length. I wouldn't say any true contenders with length. Like they've really matched up well against the Nets for a while now. Bam has really good success against the Nets. Milwaukee, they got swept last year, a little bit beaten down, but they typically have a lot of success playing that team, playing against Giannis Antetokounmpo. Same thing against the Sixers. Like a lot of these teams that are tops of the West, tops in the East, they do have success against it. It will be interesting. I think they got the Sixers not next week, but the week after in Philly. Hopefully we'll get to see that matchup at full strength because James Harden didn't have the guts to play the game that was down here.
And we got our dark horse back and Victor Oladipo.
Yep.
I'm excited about that for sure.
You're not concerned about chemistry at all because you just can't
not with this
play
team,
together.
Man.
I don't worry too much about chemistry. One, he's only going to play 15 minutes a game. Spo is pretty strict on that. I don't think that's a real deterrent. I think that with what he brings energy-wise, he's not a ball hog like we even saw early on in his first game. He was trying to get guys involved and find Dedmon. Tyler Hero mentioned, he's played with another guard before a lot with Goran last year.
No, I'm saying the whole team, actually. The whole team, because he can't get everybody together.
No, I don't worry about that. This is honestly, it's very weird. Like this has been a team this year that it reminds me very much of the team that went to the finals in that they have a lot of chemistry. They seem to get along very much. And that was noticeable. I mean, we haven't been in the locker room now in 2 years, but back then that was just that locker room was a vibe. Like it was just everybody got along. Everybody was joking. Everybody was bantering about. This has a lot of those feels, even though we don't get to see what's going on in the locker room. We see them on the sidelines, the joking that goes around, the social media poking fun. A lot of that stuff wasn't there last year. I think they were almost sick of being around each other because it was just back-to-back seasons, no break, and it wasn't the perfect roster put together because they lost some pieces. So I do think they've captured a lot of that stuff back.
They had a month off season only too. I mean, that definitely takes into some of the issues they've been having mentally with last season. But it starts with UD. I mean, the things he does, chemistry wise with that team, TD, man, it's unbelievable. They make you feel right at home. You earn your stripes, man. UD had an article about that a few months ago where he gets a select group of guys to go and play their own little pickup games here. I don't remember where he said it in the stadium, but they play their own little like underground basketball almost.
Well, when you bring up UD, I'm gonna bring up something with him and the Dolphins. I know y'all heard that story recently, but
He did.
besides that, I had to say this about the Miami Heat. First of all, if they lose tomorrow night to Cleveland, y'all need to reevaluate your whole take on them.
Cleveland's good this year, though.
No, I know. And number two, the Miami Heat, I feel like they're becoming too Tyler Hero dependent. I know he's had to recently due to injuries, but they're
Sixth man of the year, man.
But they're coming too dependent on him because he has yet to have a season out of the first two where he showed up in the playoffs consistently the whole way through. And I understand he's young. This is going to be
He did it.
Finally do it. Not
he
all
did
the
it
way
the year
through.
before.
Yeah,
Not all the way through.
Good evening, gentlemen. How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me?
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
I think that the one point I'd say with Tyler is he is probably their purest offensive creator by himself.
Yep.
And so that can be a little bit like if your offense is stagnant and he is having a rough night, that could be where things can get bogged down.
And if he don't show up in the playoffs, that team is going to go the way he
You don't remember that snarl he gave LeBron James in the finals? Come on, man.
What was the outcome?
Tobin, let me ask you a question. What's the update on Caleb Martin with the injury yesterday?
Apparently the reports are that he did not need an MRI, so that's great news. He's actually listed, I think, as questionable for tomorrow. He put out a thumbs up emoji on Twitter, but I think he deleted it. So I think it's good. The thing that is concerning, though, is he has been battling soreness in that leg pretty much for the last 3 weeks or so. So that was really concerning that when that happened. Caleb Martin, he's like one of their spark plugs.
Crucial defensive piece. Yeah.
And they just got him out of nowhere, like one of those classic.
That's right.
Darius Garland will probably go for 35 tomorrow. We'll see.
So, Brandon, quick question, my man, because I know we talked a little Dolphins here last time on our program here, man, and a lot of things have happened since then.
Yeah.
A couple rats jumped off the ship, but not too many. Not too many. It looks like McCochin, how you say it, is loving the whole Tua scenario. At least that's what he's saying. What are your thoughts on that, man? Let's go a little bit into the Dolphins here, and I want to hear your thoughts about everything that's happened, this new coaching hire, potential free agent signings.
Well, I think the thing that's interesting about it is I've never seen a coach do this many interviews. It's
everywhere.
It's pretty crazy. I've never seen a guy get a job and is literally everywhere. Like he's showing up on every show there is, and is really engaging. People dig him. They like that he's not the typical guy. He's going on Pat McAfee and joking. He's going all over the place and
for an hour
doing bits.
Rich Eisen too,
doing bits for Rich Eisen. Like, so that's a pretty unique thing that we've seen so far. I don't know what it means for his coaching, but I think he's going to be fun to cover because Flores was like, you couldn't get anything out of him.
I'm sure you could get a one-on-one with him.
With Flores?
With coaching.
I honestly feel stupid that I haven't put in a request for it because it feels like he's saying yes to everything.
He is, man.
I feel silly that I haven't.
Go for it, man.
I was just
do it, man. Shoot your shot, Tobin.
I probably will. The way it was last year was funny because I remember I remember going to camp and, I was introducing myself. It was my first time really going to camp in a few years. And I was introducing myself to the new staff. And I was like, hey, I do this morning show. I do a lot of interviews with the Heat. Had, all the big names on. Would love to do some of the Dolphins. And like the immediate reaction was, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, good talk.
They had a special tent. I remember they had a special tent on the left for media. I remember, but you couldn't even see who was in there. Like we were all speculating at times, like if Omar was there, a lot of people. But I remember seeing the tent.
Right.
It was a very small tent.
It was just a funny thing. It was like completely shot down. I don't know I don't know if I would guess because the coach is seemingly more media friendly, and a lot of this will probably change with results on what they do. But I would imagine he would probably be cooler with his players doing interviews because the word was that they just like Flores just wasn't into it. Like no football.
Had guidelines for the players.
Yeah,
and certain things they could talk about and what they couldn't talk about.
I would say that just the basis of the offseason, I would venture to guess that the players are going to be much more free to kind of speak their mind on stuff. I would guess, but I don't know. But that's kind of been my impressions. I've never seen a coach talk this much. Seems like a good dude. They definitely have the right guy for all of the bleep storm that's surrounding him with the lawsuit. Like, they needed a positive guy who can kind of handle all of that. And it kind of, I think, just makes the fans like, cool. This will, I like this guy. I like the way he handles himself. And it kind of just makes you kind of forget about the bull bleep that's also going off on the side.
Is he tied to Tua?
I don't know. I think that it kind of reminds me of a little bit of Gase, like coming in with Tannehill. Like, I think that the word was like, hey, like, let's have a guru who's going to come in here. Let's see what he gets out of Tannehill.
He was tied to him.
Yeah, but I think that, you know, like, remember like that when Tannehill got hurt, people were like, oh, and he's going to bring in Jay Cutler. It's going to be just as good. Like, he was good. He was good with Jay Cutler.
Yep, I remember that.
That's a curse word on this channel. Jay Cutler is the curse word.
But I do think that, no, I don't think McCutchen is married to him, but I do think that he's going to give him a lot more of the backing.
The best shot.
Year. I did find it interesting, you know, he was talking about the importance of film. Like, you know, that's somewhat been bandied about. Does Tua put in the time? Does he put in the film as much as he should? So if he doesn't, I do think that's something that they will conflict with. But I do think that, you know, publicly, he's going to have a lot more backing than he did last year. I mean, it was ridiculous what he had last year with what was going on in the media from that standpoint.
But is that fair, though? You know how you just said, you know, Mike talked about the film room.
Mm-hmm.
And but Tua, admittedly, that's not how he learns. He's a kinesthetic guy.
Mm-hmm.
He actually has to go out and do it to learn it. He even said in his presser, I'm not the type of guy that can just watch film or look at the book and the sheet and learn it. I have to actually go do it for me to learn it. So I know Mike McDaniel, he's a heavy approach. Let's get in his film room and study it.
Right.
But that's not how Tua best learns.
He did have that interesting thing though, where he said, like he'll adjust film for guys specifically, like even like ADD wise. Like, I don't know if like Tua's gonna be watching TikTok film or what, but like I feel like he's the type of guy seemingly that's gonna like adjust to how the guy learns.
But the thing with Tua, he's not a ADD. It's retention.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? The coach, his first the offensive coordinator, Chan Gailey said it. The OCs this year said it. It's not about whether or not Tua will get it. It's when. And what is the number one focus for him this year? Well, last year was retention. It's remembering. And that's why he's a kinesthetic guy. He has to do the same thing. He has to see a look once. Okay, I failed at it, but now I got it. Now I executed it, but not perfect. Now the third time I'm rocking. But the NFL is so much content that's not easy. So it's not just ADD, it's retention for him. And
I'm not saying that he has ADD. I'm just saying like it feels like Mike McDaniel is aware that guys learn differently. And I do think that he's going to probably do what it takes to cater to his quarterback. Because I do think that's probably a big reason why he got the job is that somebody they wanted somebody to tell them, hey, we can get something out of this guy.
Out of him.
Does that mean he's going to have 3 years of him? No, I don't think so. I think there is going to be a bit of a pressure on him this year because I do think they'll probably go out and get a lot of weapons. They'll revamp the offensive line.
Well, they got to hurry up, Tobin, because this week has been a crazy whirlwind.
Yep.
In the
part
NFL
of my question though is due to that. So obviously the coaching staff on the offensive side and obviously bringing some of the nostalgic faces of Patrick Surtain and Madison. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool thing to see. But the overall, like he did on the offensive staff, it's impressive. Now, I've never put so much focus. I've never seen anyone, as far as a fan base, where we all put so much focus on every single hire that he did. Like we looked into every single person and seen their background and what they've done for the first time in a long time. So my thing is, what is your overall level of optimism going into the season, thinking that they are going to do what we think that they are, is revamp the offensive line, bring in some pieces on the wide receivers, getting a running back. How do you feel? What's your level of optimism?
I think right now it's pretty high just because the guy just breathes optimism. I think it's going to be interesting to see like what the moves are and what the fallout of that is going to be. But this is typically a franchise that does go win free agency. I mean, it's not like they've struggled to attract people. Like, Ross is going to spend a ton of money. It's not like they've struggled in getting big names here before. So I think that whatever it takes, they will probably go and make that happen. But I think that I do. You don't agree? You don't agree that they've brought in a lot of big names?
No, go through the years, and every big name we brought in, it was probably one in that year, and you overpaid for them just to do it.
Well, if we didn't overpay them, other teams would have.
Well,
some of them were weird. Like going and getting Ndamukong Suh for all the money is weird.
That's
like
the prime example.
But it's still
Mike Wallace.
But they still did it. Like, it's still spending a ton. Like even going and getting Byron Jones and giving him the contract that it was kind of like out of nowhere. You're like, wait,
undeserving in my opinion.
But I see the benefit in that secondary and how it pays off. But when you talk about Ndamukong Suh, I mean, the man was off of the roster, and we were eating dead cap for 3 years later.
But that was Tannenbaum's fault.
We have a recipe. I see. We go get the big name players who are fresh off of a major injury. Go get the big name player who is probably played all of their prime, but we're hoping we could squeeze another year or two out. That's our MO. And that's what we're talking about now. Go get Bobby Wagner. Excellent pickup, but he's based off of tradition. He's played his prime.
Right. It's backside.
It should. Yeah. So that's our MO, and it never works out because that's the MO.
Sometimes it has worked out. Like with Brent Grimes, it worked out. With Cortland Finnegan, it worked out.
It's always one, though. It's always one, max two people.
The whale is the one that does not swim in the Miami Dolphins.
Like, look what the Chargers just did. They went and got Khalil Mack, right? And now they're reported to be trying to go after J.C. Jackson and Bobby Wagner. It's just not a one. You see what I'm saying? They're trying. Now we have the money this year to probably make the most splashes we've ever made. But again, all these names we hear on all the different platforms thrown out here, every other team's platforms are saying the exact same things. We're not guaranteed as Dolphins. And what did Chris Greer say last year in his presser when we were like, oh, we should have got this, we should have got that? We can't get everything. Flores said it as well. You can't win everybody. And that's where we get caught in. I just feel like this team right now, we're setting ourselves up for we need to go get young stars. Not these guys who are turning 29 who have proven their career, because you're gambling now on the back end of their career. I feel like we need to continue the course and get young stars if you're going to build around two and make this a long-term thing.
But like, who are the young guys that you're interested in, like, going to get?
J.C. Jackson, of course.
Okay.
Right. You have some offensive lineman options. I mean, you even have the
middle linebacker from the Falcons.
Yeah, but the Tennessee Titans just let go a really good guard.
Oh, the guard, yeah.
You see, but guys who are coming off their first deal or didn't finish their second, not guys who are on their third or fourth deal that have been superstars. They want to come to Miami because they know they can get the max money and coast out the rest of their career potentially. And we get bit from it more than we benefit. That's all I'm saying.
But you don't think we should bring in some veterans on the offense, like to mix in with the younger guys? I think that's what we need to do.
I understand, but I mean, how many are you talking about? I mean, are we going to give these O linemen an opportunity just like we're giving Tua? You know, are we going to give them?
I mean, O lineman is different, though. TD O lineman
just replacing them.
O linemen, they have their longevity in the league is way different than other positions. I mean, Trent Williams is how old?
34, I think, 35.
And he's still playing at a monstrous level, you know. And
comes to Miami,
you know, but at least for all offensive linemen is a little different. And Tobin, real quick, I know you said you were scarce for time today. How are you doing on time? Do you have to?
I was just gonna. Yeah, I gotta get like in one more topic because I do have to fly for another hit.
Perfect. Yeah. Everyone around the panel, give him one more question here, man, because he has to go do something else here, and we appreciate your time, by the way, Tobin, man.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I got a good one for you, man.
Go ahead.
Give me your thoughts on if we do this right, if we get it right in free agency in the draft. What's Tua's ceiling?
Good question.
Man, so what do you want? Like numbers?
You could give me numbers or a player comparison. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, is he gonna be Kirk Cousins? Do you see a Patrick Mahomes type, or do you see what I'm saying? Just
that's a good one.
I mean, I honestly I think that there's some elements of like Russ to him that I like. I mean, it's not obviously Russ got a bit more of a hose and just kind of nailed that deep ball a little bit more, but I think like body type, kind of that slow roll, because Russ came in with such a system around him. It was all defense, running game, beast mode, and kind of just got to develop slowly around. I mean, I'm obviously excited to see what physically he continues to go into. I just thought he looked a lot better last year, and I think that'll get even more so, because it doesn't even feel like the first year counts physically for him because he just was nowhere near what he is. But I still think he can be good, man. I really do. I still got faith in Tua.
Russell Wilson good.
I mean, it's big standards. I mean, like Russell Wilson's done a lot in his career, but I do think that I mean, like that happiness that everybody had when he got drafted, I think he can still warrant that. Like, I don't think that this is a guy that people should be rats off a ship on just yet.
Okay.
I got a question.
I mean, people were rats off the ship for Steve Young. Look how he turned out.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. This is a hard one because a lot of people get stumped by it. But here we go. If you had to sign, you're a top free agent, top money. We're talking about top money free agent. You have to pick one on either side of the ball. Who would you pick? Your choice.
I have a guy that's not as sexy, but I really have always loved his game, and I love Allen Robinson. I think that I've always been a big fan of him. I go back. I like the Jags too, and I loved him as a rookie. And he played with a bum in Blake Bortles, and I thought he was just the best thing I've ever seen. I thought it was such a crucial mistake that they let him go, and I'm still a big fan. Like if they brought him in, like it's maybe not like the huge Amari Cooper name. That would obviously be huge if he came out in hometown. That'd be cool. But I love Allen Robinson. I think he balls out. I think that those big plays that to go up and get it that we would love to have from Devontae, but always is question mark with the health. I love Allen Robinson from that standpoint.
How much would he be?
I don't know. I'm not good at stuff like that. I never know what the money is or who's going to get what. Or
hey,
I'm always baffled by all of it. I'm just like, oh, all right. I guess that's what people make now.
Before you go, Tobin, man, again, appreciate you coming out here, man. I know you're a very busy guy. You do a lot of coverage for us locally over there for the Miami Heat. Tell everybody where they could follow you, man. Listen to you, TD, if you can. Drop down in the comment section, man, so people can go check him out. Let's help the great Brendan Tobin grow his YouTube channel, man. Let everybody know your YouTube channel, Twitch. I know you're good at that. Let them know.
Yeah, you guys can follow us at 790 The Ticket on Twitch. We're go live every morning, 6 to 10 a.m. And you guys can watch there. You guys can chat with the show. We take your questions, take your comments. We bust each other's chops. And then it's on demand there. So if you're not listening to it up until 10, it's up there for you to watch whenever the hell you want to. And usually put some clips up on YouTube afterwards. Been kind of a slow Dolphins week, but I'm sure we'll ramp it up coming up next week a ton. So we've been doing a lot of Heat stuff this week, but it's Tobin Show on YouTube. That's where you guys can find it there.
So I just dropped the channel.
Dropped the link.
I just dropped the channel and the link, everyone. I see y'all in the comment section saying I love this Tobin guy. Well, like it and go subscribe. He's coming up on 20K. Make sure that you go over, subscribe, and enjoy the show.
Thanks, guys.
Tobin, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming.
Hey, have a good one, Tobin.
All right, take care, guys.
Awesome, man.
Hey, Gio,
that's my guy, man.
TD, Gio, I'm going to back out a little bit because I'm still driving to the Airbnb. I'm on my way to Tampa.
You have a good one, bro.
I got about 15 minutes and I'll jump back on.
You're in the Batmobile. Don't lie to us. You're in the Batmobile trying to go to your next mission, bro. Stop lying to everybody.
I'm not that far from the house, so I'll tune right back in.
You're in Tampa, bro?
Yeah, I came for Tampa for the weekend.
Oh, what you in Florida though?
Yeah, I'm in Miami.
Yeah.
I'm in Miami.
Okay, man.
I stole him for the weekend.
Oh, hey, listen, man. Next time you come up to Tampa, man, let me know, man. We'll hang out. We'll go sit down somewhere and just chop it up.
Oh, nice.
You
up here in Tampa?
I'm 20 minutes away, man. 30 minutes away.
That's awesome.
All right.
That's awesome.
But you handle your business. Look like you've been stolen for the weekend. So
that's right, man.
Enjoy your time, man.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Hey, have a good one, man. Let's read some of these comments, TD, man. You got a couple super chats in there.
You got a couple super chats. It says great show.
Nah, my brother, you know how this is. This is the Fin Fam, man. This is the Fin Fam with the Fins Nation in the comment section. The Fins Tailgate. That's my guy, Chris. Great show, Gio and Batman. Shout out TD and Tobin. I think Dolphins should go for Juju. This is the cheaper we could ever get him, and he would go perfect as a number 2 across from Jalen Waddle. I don't disagree.
Yeah. See, but here's the deal. Me and you, they don't know that me and you were talking backstage before the show.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's frustrating because last year I tried something new. I used to just be tunnel vision, all Miami Dolphins, right? I know everything about the Dolphins, but I started to realize, why do we always have hope, but it doesn't add up and we don't stack up to everybody else? So I start paying attention to everybody else, what they're doing, where their weakness is, what players they're going to be getting rid of, who they need to bring in and stuff like that. And I start paying attention to the rest of the AFC, man. I ain't got enough time to do the whole league, but the AFC, at least I have. It's frustrating because we have plans for free agency, but we haven't done anything yet to complete it, to say, yes, we won in it. And other teams are already making moves that have made them better. And I say to myself this, Gio, look at Buffalo, right? Do you know who the number 1 defense in the NFL was last year? Buffalo.
Yeah.
Save you some time. Buffalo, right? Okay, we're good on defense in Miami. We get better. We may rival them and we may be 1. They may be 2. They may be top 5. We may be top 5. Either of us be top 10. But it's going to be similar when it's all said and done if we get better in that area, right? Because they're not really losing anyone, and they'll probably try to even get better. What weakness does Buffalo have? Oh, they don't have a run game, but aren't they the one team that have proven they don't need one?
Yeah, Josh Allen takes off whenever he wants, yeah.
So when I look at my team and I say things like, how can we beat Buffalo? What will give us the advantage? Can anybody name it?
Linebacker play.
What's going to give us the advantage? If they have the number 1 defense last year and they looking to build on that, what's going to give us the advantage?
So remember that second game we played them?
Mm-hmm.
We had a little recipe going that first half. The issue is that we couldn't score. Yeah. So if we would have scored,
they still put up 40 at the end of the game.
Well, because it was mostly in the second half. So, and the reason I think because of that is because our defense just, they couldn't keep stopping Josh Allen. But that game plan to stop Allen was a good one because he couldn't hit anybody on those crossers. So they were forcing him to get out of the pocket and get uncomfortable. And we closed in on him a few times, and he got lucky on a few of those sacks.
But that's his game. He's gonna get lucky because he's mobile.
Correct. I mean, when hard work, luck just means hard work, and then a few things go your way, even if it's not supposed to. But our issue was scoring. Okay. We couldn't score.
Okay.
For some reason, we just couldn't move the ball down the field. I know the reason why. I know you're gonna hit on it. But as far as defensively, that's what we got to keep doing to him. Now, we got to get better linebacking play. And, this team potentially could match up defensively better next season against Buffalo. But we have to offensively score.
But again, this is the point of the matter. It doesn't matter if we match up defensively with them, right? Because they already had the number 1 defense. We can get better on offense and still struggle to match up defensively. That's just, if we're going to give ourselves credit and say, we just got to get better on defense to match up with them, they already got the number 1 defense. Even if you got better on offense, they're still going to, you see what I'm saying? Their defense.
I get what you're saying, but I do believe that if we get better offensively, because we didn't have the pieces at all. I mean, we just didn't. Our wide receivers weren't reliable. They couldn't get open. Our quarterback was rattled. There was times he was second guessing himself. Our line couldn't hold up against their pass rush. So we just have to get better offensively, and we're about a piece or two away from really giving it to them defensively. I mean, look what we did last year with just Jerome Baker.
And they're already have their unit to give it to us defensively, even if we get better on offense.
Oh, well, I mean, they can't. I will say, though, TD, they can't get better this year.
Who's that?
Buffalo Bills.
They can't.
That's one thing I could say. They can't improve. They cap wise, they just can't.
But they're clearing space. Same difference. Is everybody else.
They can't clear that much space. I mean, who they're gonna drop? Who they're gonna cut?
You're talking about a team that's already ready to go. They don't need to clear up as much as everybody else. They need to bring in one or two complementary pieces.
That's what I'm saying. So if we drastically improve the offense, we're competing.
Yeah, I know that we're competing. I get that. That's my point that I'm trying to make. We're now competing, but where do we have an advantage, and where do they have an advantage?
Our secondary is our advantage right now, if everything stays how it is.
Again, number one defense. They have that,
which is why correct. And we're going down the wheel here because I mean we got to fix our offense.
It's not an advantage if they have it too. You see what I'm saying?
So which is why we just got to fix our offense.
So we fix our offense. We get a run game. We get a good old line. What's our advantage?
At that point is whoever's more physical.
What's our advantage? Their offense.
At that point, we'll be pretty even at that point then, right? So we gotta out physical them.
Again, that's the point I'm making. If you make the teams pretty much somewhat equal, right? Where is our advantage and where is theirs? See, we can point theirs out.
Film room.
We can point theirs out. Where is their advantage? Where is their advantage? Because they're well coached. Anybody who want to say scheme in the comment section, where they're well coached. We know that. Their quarterback. I don't care how much you fix this team. You're not going to compete with their quarterback. Then I go look at the Chargers.
Did they lose Ken Dorsey, TD?
And?
They're going to drop. There's going to be a drop-off.
Oh, so Josh Allen, the guy who helped Josh Allen. See, there's
going to be a drop-off.
Okay. If you
there
believe
will be.
That, if you
There'll be a new playbook.
But then I look at teams like the Chargers, who they don't need to fix their offense. They're ready to roll. Okay.
They're ready.
Their defense isn't great though.
They were a Khalil Mack,
but you
and maybe a linebacker away.
Exactly. And now they're rumored to be going after J.C. Jackson and Bobby Wagner because after the Khalil Mack deal, they still got $43 million.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
What gives us the advantage to get in over them next year?
They're not in our division.
No, I'm saying regardless.
That's our advantage, TD.
We're talking about playoff spots still being taken, though.
That'll be a tough component. And again,
and by the way,
anything could change. Anything can change. But that'll be a tough matchup at that point.
Ken Dorsey is in Buffalo, by the way, still.
He's still there?
Promoted. He's just the OC now. Now he's in charge of it all. So that's even better for Josh Allen.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, we just got to score, man. That's what our struggles were.
I'm trying to figure out how we could build our team to even beat the Chargers if they go get J.C. Jackson and Bobby Wagner and they just got Khalil Mack and already got Bosa when their offense is still going to put up 25-plus points a game, and now they got those type of guys on defense. How do we find an advantage in all of that?
We gotta. So this is the thing, right? We've heard of the and I don't want to say this without getting everyone upset, but there's some validity to this. The Patriots way, right? Okay. What was the Patriots way? The Patriots way was they probably didn't have the best roster, but where are we going to beat teams? Let's go and watch more film than them. Let's go and practice harder than them. There are some advantages they could do on their own.
This is the Shanahan way now. It's no longer the Belichick Patriot way.
So, no, it was just an example. So those are ways where we could probably seek out an advantage. Let's do something better than what they do. You know, let's go. Let's run better. Let's
But-
tire their defense out.
But we can't put our finger on it.
Because we saw what the Patriots did to the Bills, right? They outran them.
Yeah, but okay, that's climate. That's a climate game. Then when the weather conditions were
But still,
fine,
they couldn't stop the run.
Then when the weather, but that's the climate. They stopped it in that second game, shut it down, beat them 40-something to nothing, feel like.
They learned. They learned.
They didn't learn. It was the weather. They had to run it the way that they did.
We gotta figure it out. The point is that we gotta figure it out. Mike McDaniel's smart enough to find wrinkles and what we could possibly do to be able to beat the Bills.
Somebody said TD act like these teams went undefeated. No, all the teams who got all this stuff beat each other. They didn't lose to the likes of us. That's the point. I know
they lose to Jacksonville, the same team we lost to.
Well, then it ain't nothing we could say if we both lost to them anyway.
100%. My point is that they're beatable. So we just got to figure out, regardless, we got to get better offensively. Once we get better offensively, then we can talk about, okay, how can we beat the Bills? And I'll tell you what, the way our schedule is next season, it's not going to take us too long, TD, to figure out how this team's going to look and how we could potentially beat the Bills when we play them.
Our schedule next season is brutal, in my opinion.
It is.
We'll
know quick.
What's that?
It won't take us too long to figure out what type of team we have.
That is true. But also you got to give them a grace period to gel. It might look rough at first, but it's a lot of new pieces, I believe.
I'm gonna give them the time Chan Gailey got. Everybody remember the amount of games it took for us to finally get it through. I think it was after game 3 is when we finally started going on a roll, because everyone was like, okay, this is how we got to do it. We were 1-3, I believe, or something like that. And then the offense finally started clicking.
I guess
I'll give it the first 5 games.
I guess my big point on it all, I want Dolphin fans to try this exercise. Look at the Dolphins. Look at the perfect scenario of every free agent you want to bring in. And if you think that we could beat anybody, if the free agency goes perfect, now go to the other teams in the AFC. Just pretend that you are a Chargers fan and your offense already putting up 28 a game. You just got Khalil Mack to go with Bosa, and you're trying to go get J.C. Jackson and Bobby Wagner. Tell me, if you were a fan of the Dolphins or you were a fan of the Chargers, which one would you favor? Then go on to every team in the AFC and do that. Take the home cooking out of it. Act like you were a fan of every single one of these teams, break down their strengths already, and make their offseason perfect, just like we make ours, and tell me where we'd rank. Any true fan would probably still have us outside of the top 10. And that's the sad part about it. That's what I'm talking about. We keep this tunnel vision, Dolphins only. That's the only thing I worry about. And we live with this thought process that, yeah, if we do this and do that, we definitely getting in the playoffs. But if you consider every team the same way, you might actually, if you want to be honest, you might end up with your Dolphins 10th, even if they had a perfect offseason. But give everybody else a perfect offseason. It's just amazing that everybody thinks that
Let
we
me
are
ask
the
you
one
this question.
that can have a
Let me
great
ask you this question. You're giving us so you're saying we'll put us at 10 in the AFC or in the whole
AFC, not the league. Just
okay.
just the freaking AFC.
Okay, so the AFC.
And you know
I
what?
gotta ask you this
off the top of my head, I would probably go 8th.
8th, okay. So 8th without knowing if Tua's gonna take a step forward, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You had a perfect
That's respectable.
You had a perfect offseason.
That's respectable.
But you go get the people you want to get in the offseason.
Yes.
That's
respectable. But you know what? So that's I will tell you this. All Dolphin fans should do that. Mm-hmm. Go in with the mindset, if we have a good free agency draft, go in with the mindset that we're 8th in the AFC. If Tua takes that step forward, we'll be a lot higher than 8th, right?
But what's the step forward?
the step forward is the mistakes that we were talking about when Tobin was there.
And that's the funny thing. Even if Tua fixed some of his mistakes, he still ain't better than Mahomes. He still ain't better.
Well, I mean, not a lot of quarterbacks are better than Mahomes.
Still ain't better. But that's my point. Even if he takes those steps, we got to think
He'll
about
be better than eight.
But why would we think that?
But we just finished saying. So I'm trying because I'm a diehard.
I want you to think about what we're.
You know, my blood, it's orange and aqua, right? So
me too. But I got to be real.
So this is why I say if we go in with a mindset of the expectations, right? Because if we do that with expectations, we feel better as fans if the outcome is better than what we thought, right?
Yeah.
So, and because of how our schedule
just never had that. We never had that.
100%. Because how our schedule set up next year, if there's outperformance, then we could be like, okay, now this home cooking, this sauce we were talking about, this is looking like A1 right now.
But remember, we automatically assume Herbert ain't got no more of a ceiling. Burrow ain't got no more of a ceiling. We automatically see when we say if Tua takes that next step, we act like those guys have already hit their ceiling. Isn't that unfair?
No, I'm not saying those guys. I'm not talking. See, I don't talk about the Bengals and the Chargers too much because, you know, that's not my team. But
that's the point.
We still don't know Tua's ceiling. That's all we're saying. We just still don't know Tua's ceiling.
I agree. See, somebody said narrative shift. Teams can improve, but TD gonna play Debbie Downer. I don't think you get it.
No, I know what TD's saying.
We will. It ain't whether we can. We will improve. But is your improvement, does it matter? See, what are you chasing here? Like, let's be real here. Let's act like the freaking Buffalo Bills. Watch this. Let's act like the Patriots got J.C. Jackson, right? They still got J.C. Jackson.
They locked him up.
And we got Noah Igbenogany, right? Noah could get better, but is he going to be J.C. Jackson anytime soon? This is the point that I'm trying to make to people. We make it seem like we all know we're going to improve. Well, I hope we're going to improve. I believe we will improve.
I hope so.
We're sitting here acting like that.
Listen, I live in Nevada. This NFL Sunday ticket ain't cheap, TD.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen.
Come on, man.
My team better improve because my friends and family that are watching, they know where I live. To watch the Dolphins, it ain't cheap. All right? Yeah. I pay a pretty penny to watch them on TV, man.
I'm in Florida and I gotta have Sunday ticket anyway because they
put
the games on.
It ain't easy out here being a fan, but what is it that I try to tell people? I'm probably too optimistic to a fault all the time. However, as a fan, and especially in the last decade, man, you have to live in hope, though, Andres. Why else would we be? Don't be a fan.
It's not that. I guess here's where this is where Dolphin Nation is starting to have a fork in the road, Gio. It's people like me, right? It's not that I'm not hopeful. I definitely hope. I hope Tua becomes great. I hope my team goes to the playoffs, make some noise, maybe even win a Super Bowl. Every Dolphin fan is hopeful. But what's wrong with a Dolphin fan evaluating his team and saying, no, cut it, stop.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You're going the wrong way. Like, I want to win. You're going the wrong way. You're thinking this way is going to win. I don't think so because of this, and this. I might be wrong, but I might be right. And if I'm right, oh my gosh, you're going the wrong way. Stop. Go this way.
As a matter of fact, how about this, TD? How about this? Because one thing that I've learned since releasing Tannehill is, okay, a lot of us ate up the whole waiting 5, 6, 7 years. Oh, it was the OC. They handcuffed Tannehill. They didn't let him audible. They didn't let him do anything. We couldn't get the O-line around him. So this is the thing, right? You learn after experiences like that. You learn from watching the Chad Henneys in the world, Pat White. And one thing that I've noticed is you have to be objective. Every position could always be upgraded, right? You have to. You have to think like that because if not, you'll get sucked in the trap and you'll stay there. And then next thing you know, 4 or 5 years passed, they're 4 or 5 years older, and then what? Nothing's changed. So one thing I've noticed is with Tua last year, because I got to keep it objective. You have to with this team, especially as of late, because you've been bit too much. How many years have we been mediocre?
Every
And
year, man.
you can't upgrade your team because you're mediocre. So you're not in the first 3 picks because you're mediocre. So unfortunately, you're out here and you're picking 10, 11, 9th, year in, year out. Sometimes even 13, 14. But the point is that one thing I've noticed with Tua last year was he was in his head a lot of times. Perfect example is that Jaguars game. Does everybody remember that play? And I know once I say it, everyone's going to be like, yup, I remember exactly that play. You remember that third down play close to the end zone where Tua is rolling out to his left. He sees Durham Smythe free as a bird. He has the option of either running or a nice little shove it pass could have done it, but he overthrows Durham Smythe. What did he do right after that throw? He starts kicking himself in the butt. All right.
Okay.
That right there told me 2 things. Why did he not run for it? And he probably thought the same damn thing. I could have ran. It was right there. It was 3 yards away. Why did I overthrow Durham Smythe? That shows you, because quarterback, as everyone knows, you can't think too many times, man, to make a play. That showed me he was in on his head too much. Mentally, he wasn't there. I don't know if it's the injury. I don't know if it's the coaches telling him, don't run, don't take off. We don't know, right? A lot of reports came out. We don't know which is true, which is not. But one thing I saw, and we watched him in Alabama. The only reason I mentioned Alabama is because if that same play would have happened in Alabama, TD, he would have ran. He would have ran. The reason he didn't do it,
he would have had a much clear lane at Alabama.
But if you look at that play, there was nothing clear. There was nobody there.
But he never had
if you pull that play up, you'll see what I'm talking about. Durham Smythe could have just been a blocker and he would have had a clear 15, 20-yard run. So that right there is mental aspect. And that's what worried me about the injury for sure about Tua. Wasn't that the accuracy wasn't going to be what everyone thought. None of that. It's more, okay, can he get over the mental aspect of the injury? Now, we still don't know. I'm hopeful that it is going to get better. What'd you drop there in the link?
Yeah, if we could pause for a second, because I need to say this, man. Miami Sports Fanatic Show has been doing their thing over here on TD Talk every Thursday night. Y'all show some love. They're at 440 subscribers. At a minimum, let's get them to 450. I know we got 10 people watching right now that are not subscribed to the channel. So those 10 people, at least go over to Miami Sports Fanatic show right now. I just dropped the link, and go subscribe and show your love. They provide great content consistently over there as well, man. So if y'all enjoying this content tonight, we got almost 200 people in here. Man, go over there and show your love right now. Miami Sports Fanatic Show. Let's at least get them to 450, man. We're at 440 right now, so I'm counting on y'all to show some love and help the homie and their channels grow, because they put in that work in our community. So if you love the Dolphins, you love them, man. All right? So I appreciate that for everybody who goes over. But Gio, man, listen. That's all it is for me. At the end of the day, I'm not sitting around here and thinking every single season is rainbows with a pot of gold at the end anymore.
Right. You can't think like that.
Like we're talking about, yeah, but if we build a good run game, the Colts are already ahead of us in that area. I mean, there's teams that's already ready in that area. It's like we act like if we build that, we're the only ones that have it, when other teams already have that secure and they're fixing other things that we're trying to fix, So
yeah, I agree there, man.
In the building, I see you. That's back at the
I agree there, man. And like I said, every position in our team, especially our team, should always be evaluated. If you could upgrade it, whatever it takes. I mean, look what the Broncos just gave up for Russell Wilson. But the Broncos right now are better. Way better than what they've been the last 5 years since Peyton Manning. They don't have to do anything differently. They have a defense. They got a better quarterback, and they still got Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton.
And still got
they have Javonte Williams.
And still got $30 million after the deal.
You know, so I mean, if you could do it, do it. But you know, let's see. And this is where I say my optimism is to a fault. You know, because I believe in letting the young guys improve. Year 3, I always give young guys 3 years. I just do. All of our positions. Even Noah Benogany. You know, I mean, you just never know. You just never know. You just never know, because how many times have we seen players not show what they're supposed to be, and then down the line they end up being elite. They end up being great. They end up being above average. You know, and that's just my worry, man. I just don't want another scenario like Tampa Bay had with Steve Young. That's what I don't want. Now,
I just don't want to be wasting chasing. I mean, somebody brought this up in the comment section, which was a great point about the Colts, right? They had 7 Pro Bowlers and we had 1. Did they lose any Pro Bowlers? And why do they? And they got the number 1 cap space in the league right now with $71 million. They can go grab a Deshaun Watson and be just as good as Denver as a Super Bowl threat now, just by getting a quarterback. The coach right now can go get a franchise court. They can go get Kirk Cousins. They can go get freaking Derek Carr. They can go get Deshaun Watson, and they're Super Bowl contenders immediately.
Well, we should have had 4 Pro Bowlers though, TD.
No, why? Why we should have? Tell me who should.
Jalen Waddle broken records.
And hold on.
Javon Holland.
Hold on. Who should Waddle have beat out? Tell me who made it in that shouldn't have got in. Waddle wasn't a Pro Bowler. He should have been if our quarterback play was better.
Well, let's stick there, right? With the type of quarterback we had with his production, Waddle should have been a Pro Bowler.
What say that again?
With the production we have from the quarterback and what Waddle was able to make of his targets, he should have been a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, we can't talk about if the quarterback.
Javon Holland should have been a Pro Bowl.
Well, to me, that is an argument that could be made. That's an argument.
Jalen Phillips, how many sacks did he have?
No. Jalen Phillips wasn't no Pro Bowler.
But he could have been.
A lot of that was schematic. It wasn't like just dog one-on-one, just killing your guy. It was a lot of 7 guys at the line of scrimmage. Nobody knew who was coming, and free guys coming. And that's also what hurt Javon Holland. His work in the backfield is what separated him from everybody else, what made him so great. But again, that was schematic. Some guys are doing this without the scheme. They're just base defense. I'm dogging them. And that's why I tell y'all, the Dolphins don't have a pass rush. We got to put 7 on the line to confuse an O-line just to get guys to beat their guy. We don't have an organic pass rush. But you go look at the Chargers immediately.
It's going to be a lot less. It's going to be a lot less pass rushing once Emmanuel Ogbah goes away.
That's potential. Well, I mean, again, with the scheme, you don't need the greatest, but at the same token, will these guys?
He did way more than scheme, man. That guy was blocking passes, eating up double teams, sometimes even a chip from the running back. Emmanuel Ogbah was that man.
Well, I agree, but it doesn't look like they re-signing them, so we're going to figure out what that
doesn't look like it.
But here I am. I look at the Indianapolis Colts, who didn't make the playoffs, 1 quarterback away from being playoff favorites for sure. I look at the freaking Chargers, who didn't make the playoffs. I think they just became a playoff team today.
Yeah, no, 100%. Listen, and if they add Bobby, they don't have to add JC Jackson. They could just add Bobby Wagner to the mix.
But they're talking about going after both JC Jackson.
But they don't have to. They could just get one of one of those guys, and that's it.
But again, if they get both, You see what I'm saying?
If they get both, they're definitely in contention for the championship.
That's two teams that didn't make it that can instantly, which they're pursuing right now to go after their playoff teams. Let's not talk about the Baltimore Ravens, who we know the only reason they didn't make it was because they team had unrealistic injuries starting in like week 8. They were the best team in the NFL up to week 8, and then all them injuries hit. That is 3 teams that did make the playoffs that look like they're poised to come back and make it. And you add some of the guarantees that did make it, and what are we doing? Trying to improve the run game, take a methodic approach, balance the games. Some of these teams like screw balance. We coming to shove it down your throat. That's the difference. We're taking
that's what we have to do offensively.
We're taking this careful, balanced approach where everything needs to hit, but if it does, we'll be fine and we'll win enough games and we might even make some noise in the playoffs, but everything got to hit. That's what we're doing. One player go down and we screw, just like San Francisco. Debo go down, they ain't nothing. Debo go down, they're nothing. And that's what we're doing, this methodic approach, want to be in every game, keep it close, and try to make the right plays and win it. When some teams are already there and now they're going to put their foot down your throat. I can't subscribe to that. That's why I'm not optimistic right now. That's why I'm not.
Yeah, we got to lower as Dolphin fans so that we don't get so disappointed. We got to dial back our expectations. First of all, in free agency, it looks like too.
Pittsburgh, 1 quarterback away. You better hope they don't get an elite guy. Same thing. All of these teams in Cleveland, their team is built. It's just I guess they're going to stick with Baker, so they could still make the playoffs with Baker, by the way.
This week, 2 AFC teams definitely took a leap forward. I will say that. So let's see. Let's we kind of mentioned what we were talking about here before the show. Do you want to speculate on why is it that we haven't made any moves? Are we what's going on? Are we waiting for another trade potential? Could Tua be on the move? What
moves require 2 sides. We can make all the moves we want.
I trust Greer when it comes to that. Greer has pretty good relationships with other teams he's made moves with in the past.
Yeah, but things are changing in Miami. Things are
because
changing.
It is weird
First of all,
it is weird all these moves that are going on this week in free agency, which hasn't even started yet.
A lot of teams are skeptical of Chris Greer. Ever since we robbed Houston, teams looked at it like, you ain't gonna get me like that. They got the GM.
We haven't even cut a player yet. That's crazy.
I agree. And hey, what's funny. Carla said we're playing poker and not showing our hand. I'll do you one better, Carla. We're playing poker. We're the big blind, and we fold before the flop without a pre-flop raise. If you understand poker, you understood what I said. We're playing poker. We're the big blind. Our ante is in anyway. We're the big blind. No pre-flop raise, and we fold instead of checking.
That's Texas Hold'em.
Yes. That's what we are, Carla. If you understand poker, you understand exactly what I'm saying.
I'm making money off you.
And matter of fact, our hand was a 7-9 offsuit, right?
Not even a pair.
I get why you don't want to play it, but at the same token, it's a free flop. And then you fold and the flop come out 9-9-7. That's us. That's us.
I hope it's not. I hope is. See, this is where again
9-9-7. Russell Wilson. Did you see that package? Why we ain't put our bid in?
So this is where it's. I see that happening, TD, but that's small you seen the Grinch?
Mm-hmm.
You seen where he goes on the X-ray and he shows his heart, you know, and it's like that little beat, you know, that little tiny red little heart beating, a little flash of life.
Yeah.
That's me right now, beating that little flash of hope. Like, man, I hope we're not doing nothing because we got big moves coming.
I have it too. Right after the
Because
draft, you probably won't hear another negative piece from me. I mean, at the end of the day, our team is set. Let's go. This is what we need to do. But right now, I got to beat the table. I want us to do better. I want us to go all in for whatever we need to go all in for. And I'm not done with my freaking poker analogy. We're the type of freaking team that the board is paired. The board.
That's how I go to the poker table, TD.
Matter of fact, it's 5 cards out. And it's 2 pairs already on the board, and we out here playing ace high and calling a raise.
I'm sitting on 2 kings right here.
Man, listen, you sit on it. See, that's what we're doing. We got 2 kings, but there's 5 cards out.
Kings.
No, you got 2 kings, but there's 5 cards on the board, and it's ace, ace, queen, queen, 3. And it's 5 people in the hand, and you playing them kings. You playing them kings, and everybody going all in, and you call. That's what we're doing. You got pocket kings, but the board got 2 aces, 2 queens, and a 3. And you calling all in on them raggedy kings. Come on, man. That's what we doing. 5 people in the hand, and you act like not one of them got a queen or an ace. For the full house.
let me ask you this. Everybody, Fins Nation, put it in the chat after TD answers, or if you want to answer first and him, do it. What moves would make you feel hopeful? Okay. It could be anything crazy. What moves will make you feel hopeful that we are able to compete with the teams that upgraded?
With Tua?
Give me whatever scenario. Listen, it's our team at the end of the day. It's about the logo.
I'll give you one with Tua and without Tua.
Okay, there you go.
How about that?
Let's do it.
So, first of all, you go get J.C. Jackson. Guarantee you got to get him.
That's right.
You got to go get a guy like one of these top linebackers. You got to go get a great pass rusher. I'm talking about better than Ogba. And you solidified your defense first and foremost. My 3, with Tua, by the way, my 3 top pieces will be on defense, man. I am going to make sure that area doesn't suffer.
So J.C. Jackson and a better pass rusher than Ogba?
A better pass rusher than Ogba.
And a linebacker?
And one of the best linebackers. I can't just say Wagner, but one of the best ones. There's about 3 great
I'm telling
right
you
now.
guys, everybody listen, if you guys don't know who this middle linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons is.
No, I know. That's why I said there's a few out there. So get one of those studs, right? So now my defense is set and ready to go. And when I say go get J.C. Jackson, you still got X and Byron and Needham. You feel me on that? Anybody get hurt, we still straight. Also, the boundary, you got Byron and X, and now JC's playing the slot because that's where he started. That's where he made his bread and butter.
That is where he made his bread.
And Needham is all of their backup pretty much almost. And a 4th guy if they're spreading it out on a 3rd and long situation.
So you made those 3 moves. What are you doing on offense?
Straight draft? On offense, now I don't have as much money left. After all of that, I probably got 20 million left. But at that point, I'm taking my 1st round pick and I'm gonna go ahead and trade that sucker and go get me an offensive lineman, a freaking right tackle.
Lael Collins?
A right tackle. Ain't none guarantees, but I'm getting the best right tackle that I can find. Okay. I'm bringing in some running backs by committee that ain't gonna cost much at all. I'm using my 2nd round pick, and I'm gonna go ahead and invest in another receiver.
It's a deep receiving draft.
And everything else, I'm building the team. But again, look at our freaking offense last year with a bad O-line and with everybody complaining about.
Don't rule out the possibility, TD, of restructuring Byron.
Well, there's a few players that can be restructured to get more money. So I get all that. But what I'm saying to you is this. People need to understand on our offense, with the quote-unquote bad O-line and receivers that quote-unquote can't get separation, even though they do it at the average of the league, we left too much meat on the bones. There was still offense to be had if we had better quarterback play. So if Tua's going to get better, he's just going to get better. He needs to grow as a player. People all talk about make everything around him better. How about he just get better?
Yeah, I'm with that analogy.
People act like if Tua himself didn't get 20% better.
I'm with that analogy.
Ryan Fitzpatrick,
but he does need a better right tackle, which we all agree.
But I addressed that. But Ryan Fitzpatrick looked very good in this system. Ryan Fitzpatrick was very productive in this system. Gave us the best offense we've had in 50 years. So all that stuff people talk about, it ain't even what it really seems.
And Tua should have never played that first year.
Yeah. So miss me with that crap. If Joe Burrow was here in Miami, we wouldn't be complaining because I'm confident we would have made the playoffs. And guess what? You can't run that excuse. Nobody could have survived behind this O-line. That man went in playoff games getting sacked 9-10 times. That man winning playoff games with the most sacks in the NFL. I don't want to hear it. You just got to show up and do your job and perform. All these overthrows and underthrow, what if he would have actually threw it right and connected? We wouldn't be complaining so much. We wouldn't be. Somebody said TD is sleeping on Tua. Tua sleeping on Tua. Tell him make the doggone throw. Third down in a critical game, Mac Hollins wide open, throwing 5 feet to the ground ahead of him. Make the freaking play. Wake up, Tua Tagovailoa. Stop coming up small.
This is the offseason to improve. He has the right coach that's in on him. So he has to improve. Now, give me the scenario without Tua.
First of all, we already missed one. We could have just traded for Russell Wilson. Obviously, if you look at that package, right?
Yep.
But at this point, I would get a good package together for Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr at this point. And I would get that package together. And now I don't have to go so heavy on my defense. I could keep my defense the same and just go get a defensive end. And I may not even address linebacker because now I'm going to get Derek Carr and I'm going to get the same right tackle I'm going to get Tua, but I'm going to get him another receiver. I'm going to get him a running back, and I'm going to put more emphasis on the offense because I know now we can utilize everything we go by. That's what people not realizing. You could go buy your top level receiver for Tua. You ain't going to utilize them like you should. You're not going to be throwing these dimes all over the field like you should, 30, 40, 50 yards down the field. You're not finna do that. So if I go get Derek Carr, now I'm willing to go spend that amount of money because I know they'll be used. If I go get Kirk Cousins, I'll spend more weapons because now I know they'll be used. If you ain't even using Waddle to his full extent, why y'all think he gonna use Amari Cooper?
I do gotta give pushbacks on the Cousins and Carr. I don't think they're not light years better than Tua. I mean, they couldn't.
Nobody said they were, but they'll use what they have more. They'll use it better.
But they're such a huge drop off from Russell Wilson that the compensation to give up for them is not worth it to me.
But you ain't got as much compensation for a Derek Carr and a Kirk Cousins. You ain't got to pay as much.
But the fact that you're giving up for those quarterbacks, I mean, look, what are you going to give up for Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr? You got to give them the Matt Stafford package?
No, it's not even that. Matt Stafford is in a league right just slightly above them.
So that's what I'm saying. So what would it take to get those guys?
Those guys would be worth 2 firsts.
I ain't doing it.
Well, then keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on.
Well, not for those guys. 2 firsts for those guys.
Keep on talking about what you ain't gonna do.
So there's the thing. Matt Stafford was way better than Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr.
Matt Stafford, yeah, I get that, but what did
And
they
he
give
got
up?
2 first.
Yeah, but you got to understand the deal. What is the money going to be looking like?
Kirk Cousins getting paid top dollar.
Yeah, well, I got to go look at his contract. I haven't seen it.
I think it's like 40. I think it's like 40 mil, something like that.
The price does adjust, though. I get it. The price does adjust depending on that, depending on how much they'll be getting, how much they get paid. Hold on, I got something for you, by the way.
What you got?
I got something for you, by the way. Give me a second. I'm pulling it up for you.
You would have said anyone if you would have said hypothetically if Watson's still available.
Did I mention Watson? I
was hoping you would have.
I'm not mentioning it because if they say the door closed, I've been waiting on that for a year and a half. But
I don't know, man. I remember someone in Miami said, "I ain't going somewhere," and a week later he went.
See. This is the point. This is the point that I'm trying. This is the point I'm trying to make.
Herbert stops, launches deep. Jalen Gunn.
Does Tua talk about like what Lord have that throw in his arm?
No. That's an arm, TD. You just showed me an arm.
So my whole point about having
that's
that
a
arm,
cannon.
You can go get whatever great receiver you want to get. We can't even.
But remember who was the last quarterback we had that had a cannon like that?
No, that ain't the point I'm saying. You can go get a great receiver for Tua, but these receivers can do this, but they won't be allowed to in Miami. This is the point.
But look at the cornerbacks that are covering that. You know what that play reminds me of? Does everybody remember when Xavier Howard picked off Derek Carr off a similar play like that?
Yeah, but this is the point.
Herbert.
You start at the 33-yard line. 33 freaking yard line. I want you to do the math. This ball is caught around the 2-yard line. This is like a 61-yard throw, bro.
Stops, launches deep.
That's like a home run in baseball. That's a sexy throw. Look at those bum cornerbacks right there not doing their job.
So my whole point is go get your big name receiver spending all of that money when they can't even use the full potential of their own game. Oh, and why nobody think about that?
But this is why. Do you remember last week when I did my free agents list? This is why I didn't go. This is why I didn't go that route because that's not Tua's game. You're 100% right.
Point. Everybody talk about go get a great receiver.
No.
The receivers that can play 3 levels of the field when they come to Miami, they're not even going to be able to use all 3 levels of the field.
No. And you know what? To be real honest, and you should know this because you lived in Dallas for a while. Amari Cooper does seem more like a better fit for Tua because he does play a lot of that short intermediate game, great route running ability. He Amari Cooper to me would be a better fit on our offense than most of these free agent receivers that everyone wants, like Allen Robinson.
You're paying him to do 3 levels of the field, but we can only use him for 2. Look at this pressure. You got 2 guys in this man's face. Our quarterback won't even throw it. Won't even on the money. Our guy won't even throw it. It's going to be a sack, and guess what everybody say? Man, the O-line sucks. The O-line sucks. Everybody O-line sucks. This is what I be talking about. The pressure in his face on this play. Look at this. Our guy's going to duck.
You know what I liked about that play too, TD? That shows you right there. That play right there also shows you that the quarterback and receiver are in link. That receiver knows I'm just going to keep on running in streak, and Herbert's going to see him. And that's what happened right there. He didn't stop. How many times do we see our receivers stop?
I agree. Look at the screen. 3rd and 7. How many times have we had 3rd and 7? And look at the pressure we get. And our quarterback is going to drop to the ground right here to avoid the contact. And what does this man do? He get whacked. But it don't matter.
We also got to admit, he did throw a prayer with that throw. But that goes to show your quarterback and receiver are in link. That's what it is.
A prayer on the money. Look at this guy in his face. A guy
And
in
his receiver didn't stop either. I mean, that was my frustration with our receivers. Many times, man, and I know we saw it as Dolphin fans. Many times our receivers.
This ain't about the receivers. No, they didn't stop. You saw the all.
Many times they did stop. How many? You know how many times I saw Parker?
You saw the all 22 film. Guys out there deep waving their hand and it don't come.
And many times receivers, when the play broke down, they stopped.
Yeah. As many times as they stopped is the same amount of times they kept going and the ball never came. Look at this man. A guy jumping in his face. He still gets whacked on the money. We got one of those throws in 2 years, and that was to Mac Hollins on the right sideline. We got one throw in the pocket was clean as can be. We got one throw in 2 years from Tua like this, and the pocket was as clean as can be to Mac Hollins. One throw like that in stride, and it still wasn't a touchdown.
That was a nice play.
Look at this mess, man. We're talking about freaking dimes in coverage. He won't even throw them. The only way he throw them is if he puts it up for a 50-50. He got to put it up for a 50-50. Do you know how many of our receivers have this? Look at this. You know how many of our receivers are guarded like this, but he puts it up for a 50-50 where they got to stop and jump instead of just making the dime throw where they can keep running? You got great. You got great and you got mediocre, man. Look at this, man. Look at these, man. Look at this. Look at the coverage, man. All of these are tight window throws. Big boy, big time throws. Y'all saw our quarterback is 34 out of 36 eligible quarterbacks in the category of big time throws. Everybody, he got the highest completion percentage for deep throws. Go look at the big time throw rate. 34 out of 36.
Let's show the blunders now, TD.
34 out of 36. Everybody got blunders, but guess what? Can I find my quarterbacks beautiful ones like this?
They're just different beautiful ones. There's different beautiful ones. There was a couple flashes. There was a couple things you see that most quarterbacks can't do. Like, see, in that game, that Steelers game, he had really good pocket protection. They didn't get beat too much.
It doesn't.
They didn't get beat too much in that Steelers game.
It doesn't matter, man. We don't get these throws. I remember we had routes like this.
That's not Tua's game. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that's not Tua's game. At least not in the NFL. It was in Alabama when he had speedsters, but not in the NFL yet.
We had plays like this that could have been a touchdown, and he threw out of bounds.
That didn't happen all the time.
It didn't happen all the time, but he did it so little that the few times.
I get you. I get what you're saying. The tape
all the time.
I get what you're saying. The tape wasn't so big as 20 games. So I get you. I get what you're saying.
Come on, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Double coverage. Man, I know. Miss me with it. All I'm saying is
read Paul's comment, TD.
He needs to get better himself.
He does.
He needs to
100%.
get better himself.
Well, I mean, I gave a great example. I don't know if you could find that clip, man, but if you can, that'll be great to show everybody what I'm talking about, that he shows that mental blunder. And that right there to me, because listen, we can't ignore. So, guys, this is the thing. That game was so weird to me, TD, because Tua was cooking in that Jacksonville Jaguars game in London.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of nowhere, it's like they stop. In second half comes, and it's like, okay, we're just going to change up everything the offense was doing, and we're going to go conservative. And then if you go and watch that play and see that that right there told me a lot about what was going on with him in his head. And I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right and he gets that fixed. He improves, because I do agree that I think it's a learning thing. It's a mental thing. And putting it to fruition, repetition. like you were telling Tobin, is he watching enough film? Is he breaking it down? Is he, once he breaks it down, is he applying that on the field? I think there's definitely improvement there. I'm not saying the kid's gonna be elite. I'm just saying that I'm one of those guys that I give it 3 years. I just do, because of what we've seen as football fans. How many times do we see quarterbacks don't look like they're the guy and then they just do? Year 3. We all thought Josh Allen was trash those first 2 years. He could have hit a door if it was 20 yards away. And look now, everyone was calling him elite. That first playoff run.
Again, Josh Allen had the physical traits and the ability to improvise with his legs. And what happened was they cater his game to being such a threat with his legs that they worry about him running so much that he has more opened up in the secondary to let his arm flourish. Tua don't have those physical traits. He don't have that thing in his game that puts the fear of God in somebody to make life easier in the secondary. He just ain't got it. He don't have those attributables. That's the point. See, guys like Josh Allen do. Josh Allen can run the ball on any given play and go get 9 yards like it's yawning, like it's nothing. And teams have to.
Now, when you say physical trait, are you talking about arm and size?
Size, ability to absorb contact, and the ability to run tough, to take contact.
He does run tough.
He don't shy away. Who?
Tua runs tough.
Oh my God! You talk about once every 4 weeks. You see the little one. You see one.
No,
every 4 weeks?
Just like you said, the combination of highlights shows. It highlights more of the blunders because of the amount of game tape there is. Same thing with the running. He hasn't taken off as many times, but the times that he does take off, he's usually trucking players. He's usually spinning out of a hit.
You see what you just did? You said he's usually trucking players when he's only done it twice in 2 years. But
he's only taken off.
You add the word usual.
Because he's only taken off a slim amount of times.
But still, why do people do this?
And if he's not trucking, and if he's not absorbing contact on the run, he's keeping people's ankles where they were.
People see Tua do something one time and they say he's great at that.
Nah, TD, he's done it a couple times.
He's great at that.
People done it a couple times.
Do something one time and they say he's great at that.
TD, when he takes off running, and
the man has lowered his shoulder twice in his NFL career. Twice.
And taken hits.
Twice.
No. So he's
Josh Allen does it 8 times a game.
So hold on. So he's trucked over players twice, but other times that he's not doing that. Other times he's not doing that. He's breaking their ankles,
bro.
And if he doesn't,
you talk about one scramble a game.
Less than that. He barely scrambles. He's gone through stretches of games where he doesn't even run.
Exactly. So you.
But that's my point. That's what I said. That's why I said in the slim runs he has, which is sad. Which is why I hope that they allow him to play his game, because I believe Tua's game is dual threat. He needs to use his legs more. He needs to get over.
He can't. He's not a mobile quarterback.
Well, he's big time mobile quarterback.
He's stop, bro. He's not a mobile quarterback at all. Okay,
he's not. Let me ask you this: is Mac Jones more mobile than Tua?
That's a good question. I don't follow him enough to know how much he runs.
Tua's way more mobile than Mac Jones.
He has more.
He's shiftier than Mac Jones,
and don't use it.
He's shiftier. That's my point. So he's shiftier than Mac Jones, and he's faster than Mac Jones. But he's not using that aspect of his game. Did you see that last game versus the Patriots? How fast he looked on that 20-yard run?
Bro, this is what I'm saying to you. Tua Tagovailoa runs the ball 3 times a game, and he averages 9 yards a game. There
Say it
ain't
again?
nothing mobile. He runs the ball 3 times a game. And he averages 9 yards a game. Period.
How many run attempts in his career in the NFL?
78.
How many total yards?
His in 2 seasons,
Mhm.
237.
In 70 attempts?
Yes, an average of 3 yards per carry.
That's almost what Myles Gaskin had. That's almost what Myles Gaskin had.
3 yards per carry, bro. On limited attempts.
That's not bad, man. Listen, again, limited attempts. I think he has what, like 6 touchdowns?
Because he doesn't run them. He doesn't run the ball. He's not athletic like that, bro.
I can't let you get away with him you saying he's not athletic to run the ball.
Why?
I can't, man. I can't, because I know you saw
Mac Jones
putting the
averages
shimmy on Buda Baker. That's athleticism.
Mac
When
Jones,
you say he's not athletic to run the ball, you know who I picture running the ball?
Yeah.
Daniel Jones. That's not athletic.
Mac Jones averages 3 yards a carry, just like Tua. Mac Jones ran the ball like 43 times for 129 yards in one season. Tua ran the ball. Mac probably ran it more than Tua. Mac had 40 something attempts, bro. That tells
in one year.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Let Tua run that many times in 1 year.
Tua had 42. He did. He ran 42 times for 128, and Mac ran 43 for 129. So they're virtually the same. Tua Tagovailoa is just as impactful with his legs as Mac Jones.
My point is that's his game. That's his game. He needs to. How many times did we see the read option and him not hold that ball and take off when he should have?
I get it, but that's the whole point. See, that's what allowed Josh Allen and guys like that to be believed in to get more time because they had that element in their game. Tua doesn't. He hasn't even showed it. I don't know if he's scared from the hip or whatever it is.
That's what I'm thinking is his issue. I'm thinking his issue is him being scared.
It don't look like it's going to matter. It ain't going to set in. It ain't going to change.
It has to, man. Something is going to there gets a point with an injury where you're going to have to get over that mental aspect of getting hit. You just have to. Because in Alabama, and I know it's Alabama, but again, that was his game. How many times did you see this kid just use his legs, use his wheels whenever he needed to? And that's what he needs to do more. Like that blunder with Durham Smythe. Just take off and run, man. What are you so scared of? Get those yards.
Bro, you ain't saying nothing. I agree. It's just a matter of he got to do it. He has to do it. I mean, come on, man. It's a total difference, man. You got guys like Tannehill averaging 5 yards a carry.
He uses his wheels.
Exactly. Tua, he don't use them.
You got to use them, man. You got to use them.
Kenny.
I believe he can. He's shown that's the thing with him is that he's shown he has the shiftiness to be a runner. He just does.
But there we go. Believing in something that we ain't seen. Hoping for something that we ain't seen.
We've seen it in spurts.
Bro, we haven't seen it in spurts. The man runs 3 times a game. And let me tell you something about them 3 times a game. One of them will be for 9 yards and the other 2 will be for like 1. Let's be honest. Because that's what we rave about. Once a game, yeah, you seen that run by Tua? 8 yards. Then he'll try to run 2 more times and it'll be 1 yard. And we be like, you seen that run from him though? Like, I've never seen fans get so excited off of 1 run a game that's for like 8 yards. That is Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, be honest with me.
You remember how excited we got seeing Ryan Fitzpatrick run?
Yeah, but no, we didn't. We didn't. Ryan Fitzpatrick was running 8 times a game all over the place.
That's my point.
Picking up 30 yards a game, and Tua runs for 1 time in a game for 8 yards, and we're like, whoa, did you see that? Did you see the little juke move and how he got 7 yards? Be honest. Do you know that our fan base geeks out over 2 or 7-yard runs once every game?
No, the ones that really get me hyped is like that third and it was a 4th down. I think Atlanta or the Jags, that 4th down where he converted. I think he ran like 15 yards, took the hit, spun around, still got that first. Those are the runs.
We blow up everything Tua does to the 10th degree. And that's why people have this mental offset that they see more than they see. Tua Tagovailoa can go out there and throw 2 interceptions in a row, and then he get 130-yard post pay to Waddle. Them interceptions never happened. Nope, they never happened. Did you see that throw? Did you see that? Oh, did you see that dive? We could punt the ball 4 times in a row, and he could screw up on 3rd down all 4 times. Oh, did you see that to Mac Hollins? Oh. And we still punt on the 50-yarder. To Mac Hollins or something. We'll still punt on a good play. We blow up the things he does well. He seldomly does. It reminds me of LeBron James in his early career when, first of all, he couldn't shoot threes. He was trash with his jump shot early in his career. And then on top of being trash, he had no game winners. And I'll never forget that one shot LeBron James had. Because he had went like 3 years of just straight criticism. He just can't close. He's not clutch. And I'll never forget that 3-pointer he took from like the center of the court. It was like straight down the middle. And he hit it. And it was like a regular Joe Schmo game. And they celebrated like he had just won the NBA Finals. Anybody who know what I'm talking about, LeBron James' early Cleveland career, how he struggled shooting the ball. Y'all remember that game winner he hit like 4 years into his career for the 3, and it was a regular Joe Schmo game, and everybody celebrated like he won a championship. That's what we have for Tua Tagovailoa. It's so rare that you see something great, so when you do see it, you cherish it. You cherish it. Oh. 3/4 of nothing. Oh, did you see the 40-yarder? Oh, we got to frame that one. Let me video clip it and save it in the archives. Ooh, do you not realize that's what's happening?
I hope TD, man, as a guy, as a fan, man, you see, that's probably why I'm a fanatic. As a fanatic, I hope not.
Somebody say it's called growing pains. Oh, G Firm the homie said it's called growing pains. TD, he's not gonna be Breeze in 2 years. Bees wasn't even Breeze in 2 years. I get that. That's my same token. Then why don't y'all just be honest? Call it what it is.
That's my thing.
Glorifying stuff that don't need to be over glorified.
But that's my thing right there, TD. That's my thing right there, TD. We've seen that many times. Breeze is not the only example. Tannehill, he hasn't improved everything, but he's improved in certain aspects of his game. He still has
got room,
less than above average pocket presence, but he's gotten better in other areas of his game. Drew Brees, Steve Young, Flutie, I believe, was another one that 31 years old was when everything kicked on for him. My thing with quarterbacks, and I know TD has said that he agrees with this, but I've at least seen mental errors in Tua's game. That's what I've seen. With Tua, I do believe he could be a Russ, Drew Brees mold with less of the arm, but it's just we have the right coach in place. If we're going to see Tua improve or the best out of Tua, I believe it's with Mike McDaniel. If we don't see it this year, it's just not there.
All I'm saying to y'all is this. He's going to improve. Great. But can we shower him when he does? See, this is what they're going to do.
I mean, we should if he does.
See, this is what they're going to do. Right now,
we shouldn't, TD, if he does?
Yes, you should. But why are we doing it now?
Oh, because he hasn't improved.
But they're doing it now. People oh my gosh, did you see that? He's so great. I told you he was great.
I think those are Alabama fans that are being mixed in.
I get that. And you know what they're gonna do?
Okay.
When I'm gonna be optimistic and say when he does improve this, that's when they're gonna say, see, he used to struggle. Now look at him. Now look at so why couldn't you say he was struggling out of your mouth at the time? Some people can't even say out of their mouth.
That's where their divide
just ain't good right now.
I agree with that statement.
It's impossible for them to even say out of their mouth.
That's where the divide comes in our fan, our Finns Nation. That's where the divide is. The divide is there.
You have to already call him elite to be accepted. You have to already say he has everything and he's gonna be great to be accepted.
Well, so that's what I've been telling everybody. Year 3, Tua has to show elitism. If he doesn't show elitism, to me, it's just not there.
Cap said Tanny beat Tua 35-3. Don't lose this year, please. Well, Cap, I'm not gonna say that. Tannehill did not beat Tua Tagovailoa. Tennessee beat the Miami Dolphins. It's the same thing. I gotta be fair. The same thing I do with. Same thing I do with Tua. Well, look at Tua's record. Tua ain't got no doggone record. The Miami Dolphins do, led by the freaking defense.
Well, not only that, you can't do records because I mean, if that's the case, look at Justin Herbert's record.
Yeah,
don't beat me up. Don't beat me up. I'm just saying that's why we don't do records.
No, I'm gonna call those people out. Those are people who don't know football.
That's right.
They're the casuals who don't know football because they want to run away from a debate. They want to throw a record out there and give it all on the quarterback like it's his. You don't know football. Basically, what you're saying is Tua is better than Herbert right now, based off a record. No. And that's why those are casuals that do. That's why when people be like, yeah, but look at Tua's record. He's better than Herbert and Joe Burrow. He got a better winning record than them in the first 2 years. They always shoot me on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. Always reply. End of discussion. No need to talk to you no more. Casuals. The straight casuals that don't know football. That is their go-to argument. Well, Tua, all he does is win. Then where was those wins when we played Tennessee, when it mattered most? Where was the win the year before against Buffalo in the last game when it mattered most? Where are the wins when they matter most? Oh, then we want to talk about the defense. Then we want to talk about everybody else. When we lose, it's the O-line and everybody else. When we win, it's Tua Tagovailoa. People need to stop that ridiculousness.
And I will say, and this is the only reason why I'm saying this, man, it's because everyone learns different. And you hit on that earlier in the segment with Tobin, and I agree with that 100%. We've seen it in the history of the NFL. So that's why I'm hoping, as a Finns fan, for our sake, to keep our capital, to keep everything, to improve and keep improving that. And then I'll let you read that after this. But I hope that switch just lights up and Tua just finds a rhythm this offseason, another year removed, working on getting everything down checked, and if he doesn't, we'll know quick. Like I told you, in the first 5 games, we're going to know who Tua is, man. And it won't take that long to see either him taking that step forward and finally showing elite quarterback play or a blunder within. I'm giving it 5 games because you'll know pretty soon.
I've already said that I'm giving 8 because I understand.
You're giving 8. You're a better man than me, man. I seem to be a little more hopeful on Tua, but I'm only giving 5, man.
I give him 8, man. But Gary said, TD.
So you're giving him 8 because of the learning curve of the offense.
The whole team, the new coach, the new system, all of that. Yeah. TD, what makes you expert on everything Tua? Man, you're not sounding the least bit objective. You are a simple basher, man. You're right. Everything you just said was correct. So first of all, you asked the question, what makes me an expert on everything Tua? Because I've been right so far. If you disagree with what I say, that means you're taking the opposite of what I say and tell me what opposite I say that's been proven. I say he can't read the 3 levels of the field. Has he ever shown that he can? If you say yeah out your mouth, you're a casual and don't know football. It's just a fact. You're delusional. You're not sounding the least bit objective. Well, why don't you add your objectivity and tell me where I'm missing? Oh, he got a trash O-line? Some quarterbacks do more with less. I have constantly showed y'all film, and I have constantly only judged plays where Tua got a clean line. I say, oh, that line is dirty. There was still a play to be made, but I ain't going to knock him for it. Oh, look at all the time in the world. Look at that beautiful pocket. Look at that wide open receiver. What is he thinking? He's not even looking. He's still looking at his first read, hoping it comes open. It's not open to her. Waddle's downfield like this. Oh, now he sees Waddle, but he doesn't throw it. Now he gets sacked. I only evaluate what's in Tua's control. I don't evaluate what's not in his control. I don't hold it against him when the O-line collapses and they're trash. So if I look at 5 plays, I don't care if 4 of them was trash O-line. Forget those 4. Let's talk about the one that he could control. Why did he screw it up? So you trying to say I'm not being objective? I'm not holding the things he can't control against him. I only evaluate the things he can control, and he shows up small. He shows up like he don't know how to play football sometimes. He shows up like he don't know what he's looking at. He shows up like he got a game plan, and if the defense took it away, he don't know how to make a play after that. That's objective because that's what the film shows you. We have a horrible O-line. Yes. We got a horrible O-line. But if I pulled up, I could go to any game right now. I got 10 games sitting in front of me right now that I could click the button and put the film on right now, and I could show you in every single one of them games a beautiful pocket, a wide open receiver that he overthrows, underthrows, or doesn't throw it at all.
See, but I gotta
Then I ask you, Mr. Objective, to tell me how you would critique the play.
I'm going to tell you this, though, TD, because you're not 100% wrong. But the percentage is up there because I listen, quarterback position, right? There's a lot of things that go into that, not just clean pocket. This is why I say mental is a factor in Tua's game. How many times Tua's known for great footwork, accuracy? How many times did we see Tua speed up the play when it didn't need to? Because you watch the All-22, it happened multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
That right there tells me they have a mental clock, an internal clock. Remember, you know this because you watch football. You know football. They have an internal clock. And it's either sped up or slowed down based off the play from the O-line or the trust factor. So I do believe that Tua just mentally was not in rhythm, with other things going on, not wanting to get hit, using his legs when he should have. The escapability, many times he escaped out of the pocket. Nothing came to fruition from doing it, but he showed great escapability. Did nothing to show for it, though. So I do believe that those are mental errors he can fix. I hope he talks to a sports psychologist to get that crap out of his game. But I do think that it stems further than just good O-line plays in here and then terrible O-line plays here. Once it gels and gets better, I think he'll get better. But many times he didn't trust his O-line play, and it showed it. I mean, how many times did he snap the ball and there was already a defender in his hip or in his lap, and there were other times, you're right, where pocket is good, the protection is good, and he speeds it up himself. So that tells me too, as quarterback, because I don't know if you play quarterback, or dabbled into it with some backyard football, or quarterbacks that are out there in the comment section. You can say this too, because I know you guys know what I'm saying with that internal clock. It exists. That's a real thing. So I think that got to him.
And guess what? That's all fine, Gio. But again, until he shows that he can overcome that,
I agree.
I'm not living in the
I agree.
fantasy world of, I believe, I hope, and I think he's going to improve in that area. Okay, that's fine. But until he do it, it's all talk.
And that's why I say you got to look at every position as what's upgradable. Because at the end of the day, listen, I wasn't an Alabama fan. My brother's in the comment section. How many times did he hear me say, we rather go get Justin Herbert? And he's there in the comment section. He could tell everybody. Many times I said, we got to go get Justin Herbert. Tua's not showing me things. And he's telling me, what are you seeing from Justin Herbert in Oregon when all he does is throw slants? And I told him with these words, the thing with Justin Herbert is that he finds the open man and he hits it. He doesn't hesitate.
Burrow does too.
Also, his physical traits were there. There was a couple games that I saw that I was like, you know what? You got me on the Tua bandwagon. And then he got injured.
Hold on.
It was when he had that tightrope surgery before he played LSU. He played his ass off. Sorry, he played his butt off.
He has
in that LSU game.
He has it in him. And let me be clear. Carla says it's all talk, saying he can't do it as well. All talk. See, y'all got to pay attention to my words. Did I say he couldn't do it? I just said until he does, it's all talk. I didn't even say he couldn't. I didn't even say the man couldn't. I actually can't. I've said it 5 times on this stream. Tua is going to get better. Did I not?
Yeah.
I said it 5 times on the stream. He's going to get
You just
better.
said 10 minutes ago, if he improves, we should shower him.
And then I paused. I said, if. No, I said, I'm not even going to say if. I said when he improves. I know he's going to get better. Tua Tagovailoa.
What's up, Chachi?
I always tell y'all, he's not a bum. He's not trash. Now, he has trash moments, and I call him out as trash. He'll never be Josh Rosen. He'll never be Pat White. He'll never be trash.
He'll never be Chad Henne. For those of you saying Chad Henne was better than Tua.
But there are levels to this. Okay?
There
are levels to this.
There is.
And good ain't good enough. So he can get better and become good. Good ain't good enough.
You're giving him 8 games. I'm giving him 5.
You got to be really good, great, or elite in this league. And my thing is, Tua can get better. I never said that he couldn't. My whole point is, until he does, what I'm going to sit around here and live in delusion about. He hasn't shown me one bit of a trait that tells me he can. So until I see that, right now he hasn't. It's that simple. 2 fourth-quarter comebacks, 4 game-winning drives, too short. We still did not make the playoffs. First of all, I like to know what those 2 fourth-quarter comebacks and 4 game-winning drives are.
I think what Paul's talking about is when Tua threw that touchdown pass versus the Falcons, but then we didn't win that game. So that's not a comeback.
Is that the 4th quarter comeback? Listen, I would like to know exactly all the games. Are they talking? It's probably games like this. We picked them off in our own territory, so we were at the 30, and we got 7. We got 7 more yards and kicked the game-winning field goal. That's the game-winning drive.
I think he's talking about the Jags and the Falcons game where he had a
talking about the
potential game-winning drive, but it didn't go through.
Arizona is one of the 2 4th-quarter comebacks and one of the 4 game-winning drives, probably. One game takes up 2 of them already. I mean, come on, man. Y'all need to stop. Show me one of them games where the defense probably have a turnover at the end as well.
TD, let me ask you a question. What's going on, gentlemen? Let me ask you a question as I asked Tobin. If you had to choose your preference as far as a free agent signing that you want.
Oh, you missed the segment. He already said it.
Oh, I just tuned in. I just literally got to the
I gave a scenario with Tua and replacing him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question. So how about a backup question? Who would you?
I'm getting TD on the JC Jackson train now.
It ain't gonna.
That's what I do. I conduct trains.
Hopefully the Chargers don't get him.
Don't tell me those words.
All right, TD, this is the question. So who would you ideally for you? Who would you take up? Forget about what it's gonna do for Tua. Who would you want as be the backup quarterback for the Miami Dolphins?
Tua.
So
you like that?
Who would you take as a starter?
You trading for somebody? Or you getting
Nah, I'm just getting under some people's skin. You know, I always throw a little jab here and there. But that was a good response, by the way. But anyway, let's see. Backup. Forget about Tua.
It's up to you.
No, I'm saying forget about Tua in the sense of worrying about him having competition and all of that. Or
Like I can care less if it's going to be competition. The ideal backup quarterback for this team. I'll give you my guy, and Gio give you give your guy. I said my guy's Tyrod Taylor.
No, y'all gonna be mad at me for this, but I would go right back and get Fitz.
That'd be awesome. That's the best. That's the best scenario. I see it happen.
I go right back and get Fitz, man.
I love Fitz, man. I love Fitz, and
he'll be cheaper than he was last time.
And he's closer to Tampa, where his family's at.
Yep, and great spirited guy. And I know he can win some games.
Fair.
So
Fitz.
Yeah, that's what I would just go right back and get Fitz. And if it's not Fitz, you know, another guy who I would potentially get, I would go bring Colin Kaepernick in.
Okay, interesting.
The reports today that he was in talks with the NFL team this week because he's never stopped working. Better, you know, this and that. You know how that go. You never know. But I would bring a guy like that in because isn't this his system?
Yes.
If anybody's system, who was the first person to thrive in it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can go all the way back, man. This is it. This is the type of he'd rock this system. That's what I would do.
Okay, interesting.
But I think it's crazy, man. We've coming up on we're 30 minutes over time, and my wife actually looking at me crazy because we were supposed to binge.
Mine's already texting me.
The girlfriend's like, "They're still on? You going back out there to talk?" I'm like, "Yeah."
But this was a heck of a show, fellas.
I like this one. This one was good.
This was a heck of a show, man. Let's see
if
a good one, man. And like we said before, if you have not went over and subscribed, make sure you go right now and subscribe to Miami Sports Fanatic Show. 5 more. I know 5 more y'all can go over and subscribe.
You have the link down there?
What are we at right now, Gio? What are we at right now as far as subscribers?
445.
Okay, good. That was the goal.
Let's get 550, man. Let's get 550. I mean 450, man. 5 more. Let's do it, y'all. Go over and hit the link before we get out of here. Let's see if we can get 450 before we get out of here, man. The homies out here putting in work, giving y'all all this great Dolphin content. Go show love and support. Thanks, PGA. PGA said he just did. Let's see.
Appreciate that, my man.
Four more. Do we have 4 more people that's going to go over, click the link?
Come on, Nelson. Annie. Love, come on, man. All those beautiful words I was hearing in the comment section. Help me out right now.
Hold on. I'm happy G Firm put this up. I ain't gonna lie. I was waiting. I knew he was saying it. I was waiting on him to put it up. I told y'all Arizona was gonna be one of them, right?
Yeah.
New England. Remember the same man who threw the interception?
Yeah.
That gave the New England Patriots the winning. They were right there about to win. But are you talking about please don't tell me you're talking about when we actually Xavier Howard caused the fumble in 2020.
No, that was 2021. That was 2021.
No,
the fumble. The fumble was 2021.
He's actually done it the last 2 years. Yeah, he's done it too.
Oh, so that was another. Oh, okay.
Yes, he did it in 2020 as well. He threw the freaking pick, the dumb pick, and X saved the day with the fumble.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
Please don't tell me that's what you're talking about, because I thought we lost the other game. Because it was the I thought we lost the other one. Unless we beat him.
X saved the game at the end of the game with that fumble. I remember that.
Yes. Yeah. Please don't tell me that. Or are you saying the fourth quarter comebacks could still be losses? Is that what you're saying? Because anybody could have those. I done seen people down 30-0 come back 30-23 and consider a fourth quarter comeback but loss. So what are we talking about here? New York Jets 2021? Just to be down to the Jets is all you need to tell me. Come on. Oh, my gosh. Miss me with that, man. Week 11. Oh, the Jets twice. God dog. He put it on there twice. You can't make this up. You cannot make this up, man. He said facts over feelings. Holla at me. You and your feelings. You really gave me the Arizona game, which everybody always hold on to. New England, when he threw the freaking pick that should have ended the game, but X saved it. And 2 Jets games? Is that what you giving me? Is that what? How were we down to the Jets to begin with? And I'm pretty sure the Jets didn't put up no points in those games like that. I'm pretty sure they didn't. I'm pretty sure the defense still dominated. Oh, is it the same Jets game where he threw a pick 6? Is that what we're talking about? Come on, y'all. I mean,
TD's coming after those Tua lovers.
Tell me I'm wrong. No. This
No, don't say that. That's a trigger word here. Don't say that.
This is G-Firm. I'm trying to respond to him. Is this the same Jets game he threw the pick 6? And we talk about a comeback?
He did.
Oh, man. Y'all, see, this is what I'm talking about. They amplify all the good-looking things, and they diminish the bad. That
you gotta
is
be
what
objective,
they do.
man. You gotta be objective.
That pick 6 in the Jets game, was that the one that he threw it? We were like in our.
He threw a pick 6 and then he came back and threw a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a really bad pass.
But yeah, it's a blunder move.
So therefore,
it's a wash.
So hold on. You put us down by 6 and you bring it back, and we want to say come back.
The thing about it, TD, I will say this. I disagree with you.
That's the same as the Atlanta game.
I disagree with you.
He put us down, and then he come back, and we're supposed to give him credit.
The kid struggles, but one thing we can say from time to time, the kid in the fourth quarter is clutch. And I know people don't want to give him that credit, though.
Trash time. Trash time.
He plays good, though, in that trash time. I'll tell you that.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Who doesn't? You know how many people play great in trash time?
Oh, man. Not many.
So you're saying he's padding stats?
Why do teams be up 40-0 in the fourth quarter and the final score be 40-21?
Let me ask you this.
TD, we weren't that off.
In that Kansas City game, do you think if he would have had some of the help, he was down 3 running backs, he was down to like his 4th-string receiver, and when he came back, we did lose, but he did come back. As good as Kansas City was balling after.
If it would have been 5 quarters of the game, he probably would have tied it.
Yeah.
Y'all killing me. And nobody's allowed to use the Chiefs game. You turned the Chiefs over 4 times and lost.
Yeah, we struggled in the beginning of the game. I'll give you that.
You picked off Patrick Mahomes 3 times and made them fumble.
But then Pat Mahomes made our defense look super silly.
Yeah, you turned the Chiefs over 4 times and lost. I don't care about no comeback.
But you don't appreciate the comeback with the 4 stringers and 5th stringers?
No, you turned the team over 4 times. There should have never had to be a comeback. How can you have 4? You forced 4 turnovers and you had to come back?
That is Kansas City, though. We can't hate on that.
Doesn't matter, bro. You forced 4 turnovers and you had to come back.
He struggled. He struggled in the beginning of the game, but they should have capitalized on a couple of those turnovers. But they look, we jumped on a lead. We had a lead, so what happened then?
And don't forget, that lead. In that same game, he turned the ball over too.
He did.
I mean, come on, man. Like I said, we amplify
this is why I'm happy with this.
We diminish the things he don't.
This is why I'm happy with this coaching staff. For only that reason is because our defense many times is doing what they're supposed to do, and then our offense is just vanilla or stagnant. Doesn't do what they're supposed to do. My
wife looking.
I'm tired of seeing that.
Apologize, TD. We apologize.
I got to roll.
What are we at?
Everybody, please check us out over at Miami Sports Fanatic Show. Whether you like us or don't, we don't shun anybody out. We debate with everybody. TD knows that. Don't think that our channel is, all about Tua love or anything like that. We keep it objective over there, man.
Objective for sure.
That's not what we do at all over there. There's some notion that apparently we do. Not at all.
Listen, I'm one of the biggest Tua fans out there, and I will say this, and I'm saying it for the 50th time. If Watson becomes available, I want him. And I
He
want to.
has
I'm
said
the
that
one.
before.
If you
We'll
wanna,
see.
there's
We'll
a
see
lot
what
of
happens.
cool guys
Hey,
out
I
there.
gotta go. I
Exactly.
gotta go. Y'all go get me kicked out my own house or sleeping on the couch.
All right, TD, appreciate it.
Listen, Watson, we're gonna see if he gonna get a felony charge tomorrow or not.
We'll
All right.
see.
So
Tomorrow will be a big day.
yeah, I think that they're gonna eventually charge with a misdemeanor, and it's gonna be a plea deal, and they're gonna throw it out, and he gonna something like that. I think it's gonna be a misdemeanor something because they have to. I think in 2022 they have to charge with something.
That's in the morning. That's in the morning tomorrow, or in the afternoon.
Sometime tomorrow. Like I said, I think they'll give him the like 4 or 8 counts, how many ever it is, of a misdemeanor thing, like they say they.
You heard him, right, Road Runner?
And he'll end up getting something like community service or something like that, and that'll be resolved. And then a team will probably trade for him early next week. If they come out with a felony, I'll be shocked, but he may not play at all this year if it is a felony. And if he doesn't get nothing at all, I got to be honest with y'all, I'm gonna be disappointed in the Miami Dolphins.
Hey, TD, link up with me. I don't leave till Monday, but maybe we could link up here in Tampa. I don't know what's your schedule this weekend.
Well, you got see, I'm actually supposed to be going to South Florida, so
okay.
We'll
No
see it. We'll see. I'll see. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen this weekend. I can tell you that now.
All right.
But it just depends. Who knows? What I need to do in South Florida may not happen, but I won't know until Saturday morning. So we'll try to keep in touch. All right, man. I appreciate y'all. I gotta get up out of here.
Have a good one, man. Great show tonight.
Much love, man. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate it, TD.
We out, y'all.
Fins up.